Hello and welcome to the old Fliers. The story of Concorde has inspired many books and films. When I received this book as a gift, I was not expecting to learn anything new. I thought I knew the story well. The author, Captain Mike Bannister, is an aviation consultant and former pilot. He was the youngest pilot on the Concorde fleet in 1977 and was appointed British Airways Chief Concorde pilot in 1995. He accrued 9,200 Concorde flight hours, 6,900 of those at supersonic speeds. I guess there is not much he doesn't know about Concorde. For him, it began at age 7. On holidays on Bournemouth Beach in 1956, he looked up when he heard a plane fly overhead. He said that is when he turned to his mum and said he wanted to be a pilot. Mum said, "Yes, dear," and continued reading her book. Mike did become a pilot, and he recounts how he did this in his biography. A lot of what he had to learn was how to avoid accidents. Yet, horrible as they are, each accident tells a story. Finding the cause and a means to avoid that in the future is a lesson learnt. The science of air accident investigation advances one crash at a time. The first example Bannister gives of an avoidable accident was the crash of Speedbird 911 at Mount Fuji in March 1966. This BOAC Boeing 707, captained by Bernard Dobson, was given permission to make a pass east of Mount Fuji. The weather was clear and the passengers were in for a treat. At that time, there was little known of the phenomenon we know today as rotors, or standing waves in the lee of mountains. Descending from 16,000 feet towards the 12,388-foot peak of the mountain, they hit turbulent air so severe that it tore the plane apart, even tearing off all 4 engines. The forces exceeded 7.5 G. Lesson learnt: stay clear of mountains. On his way to a captaincy of Concorde, Mike flew the beautiful VC-10 passenger aircraft. This aircraft has 4 rear-mounted jet engines and a high T-tail. This keeps the elevators clear of turbulent jet exhaust. It also introduces a problem. Years earlier, a similar aircraft, the BAC-111 prototype, was conducting stall tests when it crashed. The turbulent wake of the stalled wing blanketed the elevators, rendering them ineffective. Lesson learned. Stick shakers had been developed as early as 1949 and were fitted on the VC-10 and other aircraft to warn of approaching stall, and, if ignored, the stick would be pushed forward regardless. A second British T-tail victim, a BEA Trident Flight 548 Papa India, also crashed due to deep stall soon after takeoff. In that case, Captain Stanley Key was involved in a heated argument with First Officer Flavel in the crew room at Heathrow. Captain Keyes must have been upset when time to fly. There were many pre-flight issues that day. His co-pilot had low flight experience and may not have been assertive in picking up the captain's mistakes, one of which killed them all. This was the leading edge slats being retracted at 63 knots below the safe retraction speed of 225 knots. The stick shaker activated, yet the aircraft was pitched upwards, leading to a deep stall as the elevators were blanketed by the vortexes coming off the wings. Another lesson learned. Human factors do play a part in the safe operation of aircraft. This came to be known as cockpit resource management, later called crew resource management, and is taught at flight schools everywhere. It is noted that single-point failures in aviation are exceedingly rare. Captain Bannister goes to great detail to explain the tragic chain that led to Air France Concorde Flight 4590 fiery crash at Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport on the 25th of July, year 2000. No one single failure, but a chain of failures of men and machine. Yes, there were lessons to be learnt from this crash as well. Thank you for watching. Liking and subscribing encourages new content.